Hello everyone, this is James from Sullygot. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you in advance for doing so if you have. So in this video, I would like to discuss who am I and what is my. Well, I discussed my story in my other video that I just made, but I want to just give people some background. Like I said, I was born in the US, raised in Ireland. I have I'm a dual citizen. However, I want to discuss more my hobbies and what's going on in my life right now. So to start off with, I am currently studying Spanish education in SUNY New Paltz in upstate New York. However, the last 2 semesters, things have very much changed in my life, and quite frankly, it's really expensive driving to university every day. I drive almost an hour, and I barely have a social life here. Because of this, I recently made the decision that I would be going for an apprenticeship that it looks like I'm going to be getting. And my plan is I will be finishing my degree online because I put a lot of effort into my degree. However, what's really annoyed me is the fact that I do a degree in Spanish education, but I find a lot of the education courses I've done in regards to teaching, they've barely touched upon teaching foreign language. And I also have to, I knew what I wanted to do when I started college. Well, sort of, I want to do something in relation to foreign languages, and I was made to do all these other courses. Now, a lot of the courses I took, I will say they were interesting, but at the same time, it seemed like a scam because I had to pay a lot of fucking money. And pardon my language there, I'm going to try not to curse too much, but I've just gotten to the conclusion that here in the US, anyway, university seems to be a scam. I know people might ask, why didn't you go to Ireland? I'm not living in Ireland anymore. There's some very personal reasons why, which I'm not going to go into now. However, I've decided I'm going to go for a trade instead because the way things are going, I prefer to be able to work and earn money, and as well as as far as doing my degree online. The reason for that is I have a lot of days where, because of my weird degree, a weird program, I have a weird schedule where I'm spending more time driving to class than I actually am in class. Oh dear. Oh dear. Go across, Bambi. Anyway. Okay. Okay, update. There's 3 deer and they all went into the field safely. So I'm glad to hear that. I also love animals. The animals are really sweet, they're very innocent, and you know, they're not like humans, because humans are so unpredictable. Humans can be good, but there's also many bad aspects about humans, because, you know, just turn on the news and you're going to see something crazy going on. Anyway, in regards to what's going on in my life, the reason, I'm spending more time driving to college than I actually am in college, and the way everything is set up is weird, and if I were to join some societies or clubs, I would be spending, they're all later in the night, and I have to get back to my house, because I obviously have stuff to do there, and, I mean, there's also that sort of argument, oh, you could just get a place on campus, which I could, but I don't want to because I don't want to go another 10 grand in debt. Because I just give an estimate that it's $10,000 per year just to live, like, on campus. Obviously, it's probably more in many places, but anyway, the decision that I've come to, I will admit, it took a lot of thinking and analyzing. However, it's been a few years. I'm almost done my degree, so like finishing it online shouldn't be an issue. And once I have it, I will have a bachelor's degree, which I would like, and I'm still debating. Like, I think I might go for a master's degree, because I just would be interested in having it. I'm looking into trade work because there's good money in it, because I'm very much interested in electronics and becoming an electrician or a mechanic for elevators, possibly planes, because there are things that have always interested me in my life, as well as foreign languages. I got into foreign languages when I was about 12 because what happened was I was going through my garage in Ireland, and now this is going to sound weird, but we had several boxes that were there from when we originally moved to Ireland, and a family member of mine worked in a Japanese company, and they were given a Japanese book and somehow ended up in our hands. And bear in mind, when I was looking in my garage at this time, I was really looking for a DVD cleaner because I thought I saw one in there. Then I found a Japanese book, and then since then I've developed an interest in foreign languages. Admittedly, it was difficult at the beginning because I started in rural Ireland, and at the time, this was back 2009, like, the internet was there, but I didn't have a great connection, and there was only one computer in the house between all my family, so I didn't get online much. So I had to work with whatever I could find. So when I started secondary school, or high school, whatever you want to call it, it's what I kind of became known as, the guy who knows foreign languages, and I generally tended to gravitate more towards the students who are from other countries. Some of you may know Ireland has a large Polish population. I found the Polish students in my school interesting, and I also thought to myself when I was younger, wow, I like these books for learning languages. I'm going to learn more. So as time went on, I started studying more. I'll also point out that I started Japanese as self-study. But when I was in school, I was also studying French and Irish Gaelic. French I was forced to do because what happened, this is actually an interesting story. Now, back in 2009, 2010, that sort of era, there was a big controversy in Ireland because everyone was watching the World Cup, and then for soccer, and it was Ireland versus France. So what happened was a famous French footballer used his hand and scored a goal which essentially knocked Ireland out of the World Cup and made France do better in the world, like get into the World Cup back in 2010. And so many people in Ireland are pissed off. Now I better backtrack on this because I should say that when I originally applied for the secondary school I went to, I was given the choice between French or Spanish. Now I'm not trying to say like nothing against French. I do love the French language. However, I chose Spanish because I found it more interesting. I just thought that it would be interesting because there's a lot more speakers. There's more speakers than English. But in that year or grade, nobody chose Spanish in my grade. Then the year after this incident with the French soccer player, all of a sudden there was Spanish classes because people were so offended, to say, over the ball being hit into a net. I didn't get it, but I just found it weird. Maybe that wasn't the reason. I mean, I think it was because a lot of people were complaining, but I just found it really funny. Anyway, back to the original story with language learning. So, there was a point when I was about 13 now. I was studying French, Irish, and Japanese. I found French interesting. Irish, Tigame Ambiagong Vega. However, I just said I can understand a good bit of Irish. However, I don't speak it that, I don't really speak it that well because my other opinion with languages is, that it's like a tool, and if you don't use it, it's going to get rusty, and you're just going to forget it. Admittedly, some of my languages that I was learning have become like that, because I've also gone through periods where I'm speaking a lot of Chinese. Nowadays I speak a lot of Spanish, obviously because I study it and I'm dating a native speaker. So Spanish has been very useful in my life, and as well as just generally here in New York, it's spoken a lot because there is a large Central and South American population in this state, and I just find it really interesting because oftentimes what happens is I'll be in just a random place. It could be a supermarket. I've had this happen in train stations, and I don't know, people almost had a feeling that I spoke Spanish, despite some people think I don't speak it because I look very Irish. Well, then again, I know there's a large percentage of people in Latin America who are a small percentage of people. I know there's a good percentage. There's about 1 million people in Argentina with Irish descent. I don't know the percentage in Mexico, but I know there's history between Irish people in Mexico. Anyway, but people seem to know I speak Spanish. I've literally had people come up to me and say, "¿Se habla español?" I was able to respond and help them out, and it felt great because I just, that feeling you get when you help someone out. I've had, not as similar, but mostly when I go to certain stores, I practice my Chinese. I've done it with Japanese as well. Now, in regards to my French, it's a bit weird because I can speak it decent enough, but sometimes what happens is I'll start speaking and then I might forget a word, and I'm like, oh God, what am I supposed to do? Or I've mostly or what happened with me was back in 2018, I went to Montreal because I said to myself, I want to speak French. I want to go somewhere that speaks French, and, well, I kind of want to go somewhere new, to say, because I have a rule with myself. I go somewhere new each year. This year I'll be in Chile. But that year, I decided I would go there. I wanted to try and speak as much French as I could. It was sort of it was good and bad because I spoke some, but I wasn't too used to Montreal accent. And what happened was, I would ask someone could they please repeat what they said in a more slow manner, and then I actually understood. However, I've also found it interesting because if I talk to someone from France, I don't have the same issue. I think it's maybe I just need more practice because I also don't have the same issue I have understanding native Spanish speakers that I used to have when I was really fresh off the boat here. Because once I moved to New York, I spoke a lot of Spanish, and now I use it a lot. Anyway, yeah, it's getting long now. I still have a good bit to go. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's an interesting view because it's driving in upstate New York at almost 7 o'clock in the evening in January 2020, and maybe some of you I know the camera isn't too good, and I want to invest in a better camera when I can to make better videos, but it gives you a bit of a glimpse into just the US and New York, because I feel many people don't know what upstate New York is like. I'm about an hour and a half, 2 hours from New York City. However, well, it's debatable where I live. It's debatable whether it's considered upstate New York, because many people say it's too close to New York City, but I don't want to get into that argument because I have seen how. Ooh, someone just crossed the WL line. Smile, you're on camera. Anyway, I don't want to get into the debate where does upstate New York start, because I have seen how tense it can get, because people want to say, no, I live in upstate New York, because there's a sort of pride in it. Okay, I know I said I wouldn't get into it, but my personal definition would be, if there's a commuter rail line going into New York City from where you live, it's more the background. If you're north of that, I would consider it upstate New York. Anyway, I know it's been like a weird rant video. I'm probably going to be uploading more. I'm hoping you liked it, and if you did, as I said in the beginning, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope that you have a good evening, day, weekend, whatever it is. You could be watching this on the toilet, you might be watching this on the train, you might be watching this, I don't know, at 2 a.m. while you're procrastinating about something, or you're having an epiphany about something that you don't know what you're doing with your life. But I want to make more videos in the future, and I want to try and help people and give advice. So if you feel like it, you can send me a message, or whatever. I like to help people. As I mentioned, I am going into a different career. The reasons being, I felt the environment in education isn't for me. I do like teaching people. However, I prefer to do one-on-one, and I'm using this YouTube channel to sort of talk to people and communicate with the world, because I find it's just an amazing thing that we have, and I think many people take it for granted. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and please remember, Be positive, and good things will come. Thank you for watching. Sayonara.